This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Hello, fellow Fox fans. It's match day. So, Sheffield United have no manager. Everton lose. Chelsea draw. Can the Foxes take advantage versus the bottom team today and move clear of the chasing pack? This is the pre-match show.
You are watching and listening to the preview show on Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums.
It is good afternoon. You can catch us live on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. And please remember to give that subscribe button a click. We would be grateful forevermore. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group. Twitter and Periscope at Leicester TID. You've seen the team. We'll be bringing it up in a second. Let us know what your thoughts are. And of course, you know, we've not been long breaking. Well, it wasn't breaking news. It's been kind of there for 2 days. He's gone. Chris Wilder. You cut him in half and he bled Sheffield United. And he walked by the look of it, or mutual agreement. That's what they say. Let's see what my pre-match show chum Josh thinks of it. Good evening, Josh. Good evening, good afternoon. I always do that, don't I?
I was just about to pull you up on that. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you, pal?
Hey, you know the sort of day I've had. We were a little bit late, and I apologise. I thought I got it all set up. Set it up for totally the wrong show. Then I updated it, then realised I updated it wrong. Did it again, and then Josh went off camera. And hey, we're here. Let's make the most of it. Wilder's gone. It. Bad timing.
Like I said to you off air, mate, to be fair, I always get even makes me even more nervous when a manager gets sacked just before we play him. It's a shame. I think, like you say, I can't imagine he actually got the sack. I think, like you say, I think it's a bit up in the air. It looks like he's walked. Thing is, as well, especially, you know, because the players all still look behind him. They haven't looked like they're down tools. I know they've had a poor season, but they just haven't been good enough. But yeah, I think it's going to, unfortunately for us there, I think it might push him on a little bit and galvanise him just a little bit more than what he did usually, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to a couple, we did the opposition view show with Rob, who was a Blade, and we had Jeff on the preview show Friday night. He was enjoying a beer, let's say that. And, you know, they're both the part of the relationship between the manager and the owners. Apparently, he's the only Saudi Arabian in the royal family who hasn't got any money.
Right.
He's like their version of Harry. You know what I mean? Apparently, they were disagreeing over the way it was moving forward. The owner wanted to bring somebody in to do the transfers. They admitted Wilder's transfers haven't been the best signings, but at least, I mean, they haven't got the new manager in yet. So whether that new manager syndrome will kick in, maybe not. But they're going to be going out with a little extra oomph in, we want to prove this for Chris, don't they?
Definitely, it's a big incentive for them because it just shows it again. You know, it can, especially happening so soon after his departure. It's whenever a manager leaves, you always see the team come out and put in a bigger shift than what they did before. I mean, just look at us when Claudio got sacked, we went and beat Liverpool 3-1. Claude Puel got sacked, we went and beat Brighton. So unfortunately it's one of them. Just hopefully the bounce can just hold out for a week. Fingers crossed.
And we're at home, which is going to be away when that happens. Good afternoon to Morgan. Good team, Sheffield United, a very narrow team. The likes of Castagna and Piera will tear them apart down the flanks. Perez, Nacho and Vardy centrally. Looks very positive, and Vardy loves a goal versus Sheffield. Just to stick on Vardy, and then we're going to bring the team up, Josh, is... we've been saying for a while he loves the goal against. He loves a goal on this type of team. It's called, I think it's 1 in 14.
Yeah, I mean, but to be honest, he's always sort of got this little patch in him. I guess it's not the first time it's happened. Although I think this is the longest he's gone without a goal for maybe since the Premier League winning season. It's a strange one. I mean, I thought against Brighton, it was one of his better performances. He just seems to be a lot more involved in the actual build-up more than anything now. And I think
he brings more to the game, not just goals, doesn't he? Because he takes the defence away. And let's not forget, he did the 11 in 11, broke the record, and then didn't score as soon as that ended. He didn't score for 2 or 3 matches, So
exactly.
We can but hope that it changes today. But let's have a look. Obviously, the team that's come out. Schmeichel, as always. Now, this worries me a little bit. I mean, he's gone for 3 at the back, although I often think if any team plays a 3 at the back and then obviously 5 across midfield, that 5 when they're coming to us goes into a back 5, and when we're going forward, it reverts to a back 3. But Soyuncu, I mean, I don't know if you agree with that, but and Soyuncu doesn't look happy in that position.
He doesn't, and I mean the formation I've sort of looked at it sort of looks like a 3-4-1-2 with Perez just playing behind Nacho and Vardy up top. I said the other day, and I think you even said it as well, mate. Soyuncu against Brighton, I felt was awful. But whether it's because he's used to playing in a two at the back, he just did not look comfortable at all. He was caught out of position quite a few times. Having said that, it's a blessing Evans is back, because hopefully Evans, I mean, he's the absolute rock of our defence. So hopefully he's gonna marshal it a bit more and talk Soyuncu through the game a little bit more. But I mean, you know what? I thought maybe Soyuncu could have been dropped. I thought Amati had a good game against Brighton. I know obviously he scored the winner, so it's eady to say, but I didn't really think he put a foot wrong. He did what he usually does, defends well. So yeah, hopefully, like I say, with Evans back, we'll be a bit stronger at the back today.
Saying good afternoon to Scott, Stephen and David for joining us. David, very confident, think we're going to get a 3-0. Stephen, yes, they are still the same team. We have still got to go and do it against them. I just thought there was an argument, and yet Amati, again, he looks better as the right back rather than the right hand side of the central 3. But he did nothing wrong against Brighton. But Soyuncu, I think there was a big argument for having Fuchs in that position because it's a 3. Fuchs his main problem for me with Fuchs is his speed, which he doesn't necessarily need to have with that 3, and he's just got the experience left footer. I'm just worried. It's my big worry is Soyuncu in that position.
You could say so, and when you touched there on Fuchs maybe going in that position, and it's a decent shout, to be honest. I think the thing is with Brendan, it's a blessing and a curse for us that we have got 3 such good centre backs. I know, as I say, Soyuncu for the last few games, I don't really think he's not been 100% what he was last season. He still does a really good job for us. But for me, Johnny Evans is starting centre back no matter what happens. When he's fit, he's the first name in that defensive line for me. Fofana, obviously, up until he got injured, fantastic, worth every penny. And then Soyuncu from how well he performed last season and half of this season. I know, like you say, he's come back from injury and he's not looked the same. But whether it's a case of Brendan sort of trying to shoehorn him in for the latter half of this season, going into next season, thinking, well, we are going to be playing a back three a lot more next season to get used to it. So hopefully, I think, like I say, with Evans there, he'll have a much better game today, Cags, definitely.
Just say hello to the Villa fan that likes to join us. Stefan, how the devil are you, sir? Good afternoon. And how was was it Newcastle? I think they played. Did they beat Newcastle? I don't think they did. No. We're going to say, look, doesn't look like winding a Villa fan up, is there? Again, Stephen agrees. Yeah, Roger's tampering again with our formation. Why go with the back four? To me, I mean, the results, and we'll come on to the rest of the team in a second. But yeah, exactly. I mean, let's have a look at this table. The results, when we spoke about this just before we came live, the results have gone our way. Everton lost. Chelsea could only draw. Man City, give them the title now, as far as I'm concerned. But this is our chance to put a bit of space, as I said at the top of the show, put a bit of space between us and fourth and fifth. Go with our strongest formation, which is four at the back. I'm not saying it's a 6-pointer, but I know every game is a must-win game, but this really, bottom team, no manager, other results have gone our way. It is a must-win game, isn't it, Josh?
Definitely, and like you say, how many times have we said it, especially last season when teams were flipping up and we could have capitalised and we just didn't. You're right, Steph, you're right, mate. I would say you're one of my favourite Villa fans, but I work with quite a few of them, so I think that'll upset them. And I think it is, and as I say, we said that so many times, and it's just like us to completely cock it up today. Unfortunately, I don't think we will. I actually think we're going to win today. It's games like this, though, where they are potential banana skin. And as you said at the start, with Wilder leaving, it's going to give them a bit more impetus. And they think, well, at the end of the day, they are pretty much down. They've not really got anything to play for but pride. So why not just go for it? So, yeah. Again, we've lived through this so many times with Leicester now, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll capitalise on that. We'll gain ground and we'll pull away from the teams below us." So it could go either way, but I think we'll get the job done today.
Morgan, good afternoon, Morgan. The thing with the back four, our best width available are wing backs, so we need them to have the freedom to go forward. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Some people prefer back three, some back four. That's football. We'll and it's a very good point you make. I mean, going back to the team here, Josh, you have got Pierre. We know even when we play a back four, he likes to get forward. Castagna, I mean, he got forward right off from the get-go and got us a goal in his first game. So I kind of see why he's done it, and they can play well in those positions, can't they?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew Castagna was sort of a natural wing back, for Atalanta, especially after we played them in the pre-season game last season. I kept quite a close eye on their results because I was really impressed. And he's a player that he can play left back, and as we've seen so far going forward, he's so comfortable. He's not scared of running at defenders. Ricardo, I think we played him right back, right wing back, right wing, and we all know what he's good at. Again, he's not scared to take a man on. He's extremely fast. So I think as the comment just said there beforehand, I think Rodgers has sort of realised, we've got wingers out. We've obviously Harvey Barnes and Perez just coming back. So, and I don't really think he wants to play Perez on the right because as we've seen, it doesn't work. So I'd definitely agree. I think width-wise at the minute, they are the two best options, really. And I think Ricardo, again, he's coming back from another long-term injury. I know he's been back for a month or so now, but I think over the last couple of games, we've really seen him sort of sort of come into some sort of form as what he was before he got injured. So it's if you've got that as a backup option of Castagna and Pereira, then you've got to use it definitely.
Yeah. Ndidi, I've not mentioned Ndidi. I mean, Ndidi, we just take that as a given. I mean, if he's fit, he plays. It's as simple as that, Tillemans, I mean, again, it's the same thing, really. Perez, I think this just shows here how much Brendan thinks of Perez and sees something in him. And I don't want to start on another anti-Perez tirade, although having said that, it worked with Nacho and he's now comes to some form, so maybe I should. But Roger sees something in Perez that us as fans don't, I think. The majority, and I will say the majority of fans, I mean, Leicester, we always like to have a scapegoat. A couple of seasons ago, it did well. Last season, it was Barnes. And this season, it's Perez. We're not Leicester if we don't have one player that we can pick on. Like I say, he doesn't. He's not good on the outside. But as his first chance he's had, he's brought him back in. It's a big game for him. Because, like we said, and we shouldn't keep saying it's only Sheffield United, but, the fact is they are bottom of the table. The fact is, they can't win games. So this is a big game for Perez.
It's huge, and it's going to be interesting to see how we sort of play with Nacho, Vardy and Perez all on the pitch all at the same time. I don't think we've seen that very often at all, not from what I can remember, really. I think Perez, I mean, as you know, and as all the viewers know, I do like Perez, but this season I've not been able to support him as much because he's literally offered us absolutely nothing. Having said that, like you say, I think it's interesting Tavares ain't in the squad at all, and whether he's injured or not, I don't know. Hopefully he's not. For Perez just to come in and it looks like he's going to play that Maddison role exactly what you said. Brendan really sees something in him, and he must be really good at training, or he must be a standout performer on the training ground. It's massive for him today, though, and he has got. I mean, I know he's just come back from injury, so you got to be a bit lenient with him, but it's a massive chance for him to show, especially today when, as you say, it's coming down to sort of a must-win game now, business end of the season. He's got to show us something, and fingers crossed he can do it.
I mean, I'm very much like you with Perez. I defended him at the start. I thought he was a good buy. Screaming for him to come off the wing and play centrally. He did, and he wasn't particularly an awful lot better. I say a little bit like Nacho in the fact that he had one or two reasonable games here and there. Maybe, it's just taking him time. And he will... Like you say, last season, Barnes, everybody was on his back. Nacho, we were earlier in the season, he's come good. So maybe Perez's time is due to start. Who knows? Who knows? David, I'm surprised you're not surprised about that. Les John Sky and all they can talk about is Spurs. It does go. This is why I must admit I do like BT, because they do have separate commentaries for each of the games. And no, that's just Sky for you. Facebook user, not sure who you are here, 4-1 or 4-0. Let's hope so. That would be good. That would be really, really good. And then finally, let's just go back and have a look. You've got Nacho and Vardy up front. It's worked for a few games for us, hasn't it?
It has, definitely, and Nacho looks a totally different player with top. And as we said about Vardy a few minutes ago, he definitely shows up a bit more in the supporting role now. Vardy's getting a lot more involved in sort of the link-up play, and he can do that now. He's sort of, one can drop deep while they know the other one's gonna stay in the more attacking position, and it's like I say, it's worked pretty well so far. Nacho, just looks a completely different player when he's got another man up front with him. And as I said a while ago, and I'll keep repeating it, when Nacho gets on the purple patch, he scores goals. I did say it. Hopefully it continues today.
I mean, we know he got goals in him. That's why we spent 30 odd million on the lad. And maybe now we have found his position, you know, and like I say, I'm going to hold my hand up. At the start, it was a case of, oh my God, we're bringing Nacho on. Now it's, if he's not playing, why isn't he playing? But it's good, because I was worried, I'm not going to lie on this one, because Vardy isn't scoring, there's no Barnes, there's no Maddison. I was wondering where the goals are coming from. Nacho, like I say, he's stepped up to the mark.
He has, and it's a shame. Obviously, like you say, we've got the injuries so a lot, and they all sort of come at the same time, Maddison and Barnes, because the goals were pretty evenly spread out, and they were coming from all over the place, really. So Nacho sort of hit that purple patch at the ideal time, really. I think the only thing is with Nacho, I think I know he's been with us now for nearly 4 years, something like that. Yeah. But he's I suppose you could say still learning about how we play. But he come from Man City, where they can work balls into the box every day of the week, and Man City was very much a sort of a penalty area strike, getting on the end of things. And now we sort of had to adapt to his game, and some games he's not there, but fortunately for us, just recently he has been. So hopefully he can bag another couple today.
Sydney, not Sydney, it's Sydney Travaris who was asking about. Stephen Collins? Yeah, Stephen Collins was asking where Sydney Travaris is. I think Heaven's Angel come down and got him. Oh, I'll use that joke all season. I'll tell you. But he's not, again. I mean, you alluded to it before. I mean, looking at the subs, you got Amati, Fuchs is on there, Thomas, Daly Campbell, Mendy, Chowdhury, Les Bala, Albrighton. You can't keep, I don't know, for me, you can't keep picking players, put them in the first team, and then just drop them all together unless he's got a little knock. And let's be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise us, but it is still quite a strong bench.
It is, but again, and I think, we said this for the last few weeks now, and we can go back to injuries as much as we want, and sometimes we sound like a broken record, but what else can he do with the bench, unfortunately? I'm sort of surprised. I mean, I don't know. I know we've got the young striker out on loan at Wickham, and I don't know if we could have recalled him or not, just again, sit on the bench. It gives us another attacking option, but the bench-wise, like you say, he's got experienced players on there, but
if Thomas, we've got to include Thomas in that now, because he's played in Europe, he scored in Europe. If Thomas was to come on, I wouldn't be fazed. Daly Campbell, he's played a few and not looked out of place. Les Bala, I really don't know, and I've not seen enough of him to judge. But, when you look at the youngsters, because of the way the season's panned out, the youngsters, you look at them and think, yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, definitely, and I agree with you totally on that. I think looking at the bench, defensively in the midfield, it looks like we've got decent cover there. And as you alluded to, Luke Thomas, he's pretty much a regular even in the squad now. But it's just obviously attacking wise going forward. If we are behind in games, then you can't really look to the bench. I mean, all you got really is Albrighton, really. I mean, Lush Bella, I think he's more of an attacking player. But Tavares, the only reason I can see why he's not in the squad is he's got to be injured, because against Brighton, I thought he did okay for his first start. He had that decent shot that produced a good save. It's just surprising he's not even on the bench.
Yeah. And Sheffield. We've only played Sheffield United 3 times in the league. We've not lost against them. A couple of 2-1s and a 2-0. Of course, in the game earlier in the season, we got 2 goals and a corner flag. But this is why we shouldn't take them lightly, because up until that goal, which was sort of just past the 90-minute mark, it was a 1-1. It was a draw. So let's not take them too lightly.
Definitely not. And I think every game we played against them, really, I know obviously we got the 2-0 win during the first lockdown. There's always been really tight affairs, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see how, our formation. I think it's the first time we played against these in the Premier League with the formation we've got. And I know they sort of play a back 3, so it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. It could be very much sort of going sort of toe-to-toe against each other. We might hopefully see quite a bit of attacking football from more us than them, fingers crossed.
Yes, yeah.
you can't take anything for granted in this league. These have beat Man United this season, so when they turn up, they can hurt anybody.
I mean, this is the last of what I would say, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but a lot of people have said this, that, you know, it was Burnley, Brighton, Sheffield United. We should come away with X amount of points. I mean, we've got 4 out of a possible 6. You know, we could take that up to 7 out of 9, which would be a good return, because coming up, and I know it's the FA Cup next weekend, and we would want to win that and go further than last season. But then we've got, you know, some big games. We've got Manchester City and at home, and West Ham away. We need 3 points today.
It's tough. I mean, the Man United game in the FA Cup, sort of a one-off sort of thing. So I think you could sort of look at that as its own sort of thing. And then, like I say, Man City and West Ham coming up. It's to say it's vital we get 3 points today. It's huge, because before you know it, it's going to be the end of the season. The last 3 games, and the last 3 games we play Chelsea, Spurs, and Man United. So it's vital we sort of we do get the 3 points today, hopefully, and then West Ham's going to be a tough game. Man City, you know, as you say, that they're running away with the league, and I'd love to say we'd be able to get something against them, but I suppose anything can happen. So it is. I mean, and I think I have to go back to what you said at the start of the show, mate, and I completely agree. It is a must-win today if we are to sort of build on our top 4 aspirations. It's massive. We get a win, whichever way it may come today. If it comes off, you know, Vardy's arse in the 93rd minute, you take it, don't you? So it's gonna be interesting.
It is, and this is Leicester for you. You know, I have no fingernails left at all, you know, because the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, last season. But like I say, in the Championship winning season, I every game that came along, I thought, this is going to be the one we're going to lose. You know, Man City away, this is going to be the one we're going to lose. And we never did in that game. So, and the form isn't, you know, we've had a bit of an iffy run, but our form's not that bad. I mean, we drew. We lost to Arsenal. That was just, it was a bad day at the office, and the fact that it followed the Slavia Prague, I think, made it worse. But we still, you know, we only lost 1 in 5 in the league, so still a lot to be optimistic about.
There is, and I think the only thing that is sort of worrying me at the minute is the performances of the last few games. We've spoke about it for the last few weeks. I think it's more of a case of certain players getting ridiculously tired because they've had to play so much football. I think, you know, Yuri's been absolutely outstanding for us this season, but I think the last few games, I know, you know, his no-look pass for setting Nacho up last week was just it was ridiculous. He's starting to slow down a little bit. He looks a bit more tired, which is understandable because he's played near enough every game for us. It's hard. I mean, it's been one of them seasons, isn't it, Chris? You know, I mean, the points against Burnley now, at the time we were sort of thinking, oh, you know, it's 2 points drop, but that's looking like a valuable point at the minute. You know, they beat Everton. Everton yesterday. So again, anything can happen. I don't really think there's been any sort of nailed on results this season because we've had so many surprises. So hopefully we don't get a surprise today.
Like you say, that you know, Burnley beat Everton, so that 1-1 probably isn't sort of as bad as it looked at the time. Very, very quickly, one player that I did want to mention, and I forgot about it, and he's not even. I thought he might you know, be on the bench, and that's Pratt, because I would have loved to have seen him come into that Maddison role, because to me he's the natural one to fit into it. But again, he's obviously not quite there because he's not even on the bench.
I really rate Pratt. I think he goes under the radar for us, to be honest with you, because he can sort of play in an array of different sort of midfield areas. You know, as you say, I think he's better as an attacking mid, but we've seen him play centre mid. He's played CDM before, and I think I prefer him sort of central midfield because I think he links the defence and the attack really well. Yeah, I mean, like you say, hopefully it's just Brendan just saying, have another week, and then it wouldn't surprise me if he starts the Man United game in the FA Cup as a first game back. Yeah. So it's cracking news to hear that he's over his injury and he's back for us. It's a massive positive.
Okay, let's go to the one we always finish on this. So let's go on to the score predictions, and this is always available on leicestertillidie.com/predictions. This is what we've gone for. I'm becoming a bit of a broken record here myself because I keep going for 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. It hasn't done me bad recently. It didn't do me bad against Brighton, to be honest with you. Got it knocked on. I always think we've just got a goal letting in us, if that makes sense. We've always sort of we always look like we're going to concede at least one. So I've gone for a 2-1, like I say. Walshy there, he's confident, 3-0. Ian Marshall's gone, he's gone for a 2-0. Steve Lynix, and I still think Steve is playing the devil's advocate there, where he daren't say that we're going to win because we never do when he predicts it. So he's gone for the draw. What are you going to go for, and is it going to come from a corner?
I'm with you, mate. I think at the minute it does look like we've always sort of are going to concede a goal, but I think we'll beat them 3-1. I think it's going to be quite for the first hour or so. It's going to be quite a tight and edgy game. I could see it being 1-1 until like the 60th, 70th minute, and then I think we'll get a couple of goals just to pull away. So I'm going to go 3-1. The corner thing, I'm glad we can, we can finally put that to bed. There's no debate last week. Can you count a short corner? But it's straight from the corner, so it's. I don't think I'd have lived it down if we hadn't scored from a corner this season. So thankfully we can.
You would not, believe you.
Yeah,
me.
We can.
You would not.
we can let that rest. And Amarty of all people to score it as well. It was meant to be.
Indeed. Well, Josh, thanks as always. Hopefully you're going to be back with us on Tuesday. And I thought we could actually do a bit of a charity show on Tuesday where people could donate to help you with your electricity bill, because obviously wearing a coat inside the house, it's bloody freezing there.
You know what it is? Literally, as soon as I finish this, I'm going out to do the food shop. So I'm going to miss the first probably 20 minutes of the game. So literally, as soon as I finish this, I'm coming off, I'm shooting in the car and going to do the food shop. So that's why I've still got my coat on. But if anybody wants to donate. More than welcome.
I thought on Tuesday we could just have a general chat just about Leicester and just see what people want to ask us questions and our thoughts on things. And we'll do that on Tuesday at 7. So thanks very much. And we've just got a Facebook user just popping in at the end here. He's going 3-1 City. He's agreeing with you there, Josh. Let's hope we're all right and it's a win of some description and we can just pull away. Josh, enjoy your food shop. Who's in charge in your house, eh? Food shop just as the kickoff's coming on. What the hell's going on?
It's Mother's Day, innit? So I couldn't get out of it.
No, agreed. Hey, don't spend too much, mate. Enjoy it. Enjoy the game the rest of the game that you see, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
And you, Chris. Pleasure as always, mate. Thanks for having me.
And you, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
Throughout, pal. Bye, mate.
Bye-bye. Thanks to Josh there. 3-1 for him, 2-1 for me. 3 points. That's what we need. It's gone our way. Everton lost. Chelsea drew. We're playing the bottom team. We're playing a team without a manager. There's so much that can go wrong. It's the old banana skin syndrome. But it's a game we can win. And it's a game we must win if we are being serious about top 4 this season. Because this is so we've got Man City coming up, we've got West Ham coming up. They're going to be tougher games. We know they are. You don't need anybody to tell you that. So we really do need the points today. We're going to be back with Josh and ex-Fox Julian Watts. We'll be back about 40 minutes after the final whistle. So I'm guessing about 4:40, something like that, 4:30. We'll be back here and we'll be reviewing the match and hopefully reviewing the fact that we've got 3 points. Enjoy the match. Fingers crossed. Come on, you Foxes. We can do it. 3 points, please. We'll see you 40 minutes after the end of the game. Stay safe, guys. Up the
Hello,
Foxes.
Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.